Hey everyone, I'm back with another video, and on today's video I'm going to be making enfrijoladas, which is one of my favorite meals now. I actually never grew up knowing this because we never really ate beans as a sauce, but learning this on the internet and then tried it, I love it. It's really good, so I've been making them nowadays, especially because it's a great plant-based survival meal. Like, it's perfect. All you need is beans, you need tortillas, and that's it. Like, literally just beans and tortillas, which is my type of food here. So let's get right into the recipe and let me show you how to make it. So I'm going to add some greens from my garden. Just a small plant. I just have a few small plants in my garden, and I just every now and then I'll pick them out. So here's a few. I have kale and collard green and some dandelion that grows right there, just a little bit because it might be pungent. All we're going to need here is just some beans. You can use canned beans if you want. I make my beans all the time. I always have beans. You're also going to need some tortillas. First step is to make the beans. And we want to make them flavorful, so we want to add a couple of things. We're going to be adding onion, a bunch of garlic, and 3 chile de arbol. Now, sometimes, not all the time, I buy already peeled garlic and I'll just freeze it. And that's the type of garlic that I would use for this type of dish, because you don't really need it for any presentation wise, you just need the flavor. We're going to add those ingredients to a saucepan. We're going to let them saute slightly. I've got a pan here, and I want to stir them so they don't burn. Once the ingredients are slightly charred, I'm going to add some beans. The next thing that we need to do is transfer it to a blender. Okay, so I'm going to gently pour this in there, at least some of it. You're going to add your beans into a blender, and you're going to let them cool down for at least 5 minutes. Okay, so I've got them cooling down, just removing some of the steam. While I wait for the beans to cool down, I'm going to start on the filling. So I have those veggies that I showed you already diced up, the Anaheim pepper, the bell pepper, and the onion. We're going to crank up the heat on this pan, and I'm going to add my veggies in. Once the vegetables are slightly sauteed, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. I'm going to add some corn. We want to stir these ingredients together. So I'm going to let this cook in a medium-low heat, and I'm going to go take care of the beans. So you want to be very careful on blending hot stuff. You really want to be careful. So you want to add a towel on the top of the blender. You add it on top, and you blend. All right, our veggies are done, so I'm going to turn off the heat. So I'm going to add the collard greens and kale. Now that the corn has defrosted and it's slightly cooked down, I'm just going to give it a toss. I have the heat turned off. I'm just giving it a nice toss because I don't want these greens to overwhelm. With just the heat alone of the corn and the veggies, it's going to cook the kale and the collard greens. This is the color that you want. If it's any darker than this, it's overcooked. And a lot of the nutrients and minerals have been just depleted and just killed off. Let's put it together.